Okay, now part two of the reason as to why I'm avoiding you, Geoff Doyle. Okay, now when you came over those times and you stayed overnight and you bunked up in bed with me, right? And don't get me wrong, people out there, we weren't hooking up and having one night fling or anything like that. He had a girlfriend at the time, Holly. I don't know if he's still with her, but I slept like underneath the covers. He slept on top, but I had another blanket. You know what I mean? And he was fully clothed. I was too. I would, wear my pajamas and all that. And we used to sit and chill and hang out in the lounge room. And listen, that's where we used to hang out and smoke green, and do all that. And now things have changed, Geoff. My dad's bedbound completely. He can't get up and hang out in the lounge room. We no longer have a two-seater couch, which means when people come over, we can only have one guest at a time. And the thing is, I'll have to sit in a dining chair in my dad's room. You know what I mean? Like they can't actually sit, kick back and fully relax. And because we don't smoke green anymore, that means our visitors won't be able to smoke green here. You know what I mean? Because that will, sort of like tempt my dad into smoking, and he really can't risk it smoking green because his health is, like I said before, it's declined. So I'm very strict with that, okay? And we haven't smoked green since COVID started. And I'm the type of person that can go without green for a very long time. I'm not addicted to it. And yeah, okay. And when you were here and you bunked up in bed with me, also the weird thing about it was paranormal activity amped up every single time you came over. There was a male entity that did not like you being here. And this male entity would just stand there and I could feel the presence in the room. Like this male entity was not happy that you were bunking up in bed with me. And that also aggravated me because I could not sleep because of it. And I didn't want to freak you out, to wake you up and say, hey, I want you out. I want you to go home, I want you to F off and go home and drive home. I didn't want to do that because you were too high off your face on green and alcohol and it was dangerous. I didn't want you driving. So, you know what I mean? So I'm thinking, nah, I better not tell him. It will freak him out. That's what I was thinking. But I would just lay there. I did not sleep at all the whole time. Every single time he'd come over, I did not sleep at all. It may have seemed like to you I was asleep, but I wasn't asleep at all. We had our back turned to each other, people out there. Like I'd sleep. And back then my bed was arranged differently. My room was completely different back then. So I would have the exit side and he would sleep more closer to the wall side. So the reason why it was arranged that way is so that if my dad needed me for something and he talked through the intercom, I would get up and go in freely without disturbing him and waking him up. But the thing is, the whole time, every single time he came over and stayed overnight, this male entity would just stand there and I could sense, and it was really agitating me. And I knew, okay, I've got a male spirit here that doesn't like him, doesn't want him in our unit. Chica also doesn't like you, Geoff. I don't know why, but she doesn't like you. Because she can sense the energy coming off you. It's this, I don't know, darkness. It's like a dark cloud. Yeah, I don't know if you're aware of how, I don't know, unless you got an entity constantly following you. I don't know, but all I could say, it's a very deep, dark, depressing energy that drains the heck out of me. And I can't be around that unless you're willing to make a lot of positive changes in your life and improve your health and get off the drugs or whatever it is you're on and focus on your depression and anxiety and go and get regular help. Until then, and that your energy is more uplifted and more positive, but then maybe in the future we can hang out and give it a trial run. But if not, and I still feel that this weird darkness is around you, I can't have you ever come here. And I didn't want to tell you, make you think I'm fucking going cuckoo lala at the time. And I didn't want to scare you. You know what I mean? Because I wanted to see how it would go as far as, okay, the first time he came over, I'm thinking, oh boy, and then you came over for my birthday. We had that big birthday, party with all the lights and everything and the smoke machine and everything. And don't get me wrong, we did have fun. Don't get me wrong. But then, I don't know, after a while when you started to sense that you were getting more comfortable, it was like a different side to you will come out. And it sort of, really started to agitate me. I sort of felt, like you were trying to take advantage or try to, you're only like sort of using us, for food because you didn't have enough food or something. It just was weird. It became awkward on the fourth time, and that's when I put my foot down and I'm like, no, I can't. You're draining me too much. Oh, it was bad. Like, how badly I was drained. For me to take nearly 3 to 4 days to fully recover and recharge and be back to my normal self again. Don't you remember that night? Maybe you won't fucking remember. That, when my dad had the 2-seater couches and you were sitting right next to me, I could feel it and I was getting agitated. So my leg was going like that, and, and I'm going like that constantly and I'm looking at you, I could feel the energy and I had to get up and get out. I got up, get out, and I came straight in my room. And you'll probably think, what's taking her so long? I stayed in here for a bit because I'm trying to get away from you because of the energy. And I'm thinking, come on, Clara, you can do this. You can fucking do this. Get back in there, sit down, try to be nice, try not to get so agitated. It just wasn't working. And that was the last time I thought to myself, no, I can't have you ever come here. I just can't. And I know it sounds really cruel and it sounds really bad, but what am I meant to flip and do? What am I meant to do? What, have you keep coming here, just say every weekend on a Friday or Saturday night, you stay over and I'm fucked for the next 3-4 days? Oh, it's horrible. Nah, and to drink and smoke and listen to loud, hardcore DJ music for hours on end every single time you come over, nah. It was just, and you constantly being in your phone, that was very aggravating, Geoff, and you need to seriously stop doing that when you're hanging out with your friends, especially going over to their house and shit. It is rude. I don't know if anyone else has told you, but if they haven't, you've heard it from us. And I did tell you, but I think you've forgotten. And yeah, that's why I've been avoiding you, because I know that if you speak to me, you want to come over. You do it all the time. It's like, oh, how are you going? What's your address? Can I come down? I'm like, I don't want you coming over. I'm sorry, Geoff. I don't want you ever coming over here. It's just not ideal. It was nice knowing you, but honestly, no, I just can't. Okay? And look, if I'm going to get bad luck for this and bad karma coming my way, don't you worry. If you feel that I've severely have hurt you and I've been unfair, well, don't worry, I'll get my karma. I'll never escape my karma. So, don't you ever worry about that. I will never escape my karma. But I can't be around people who are too depressed and have a lot of psychological issues. I can't, because they drain me too much, way too much, and it rubs off on me, and then I start to feel that way. Do you know what I mean? I start to get severely depressed, and and you self-harming. And when I saw that picture that you posted on Facebook with a very deep wound in your wrist, I just thought, nah, I can't heal. It was just, nah,